Joining on the Sofa with Esther this Sunday are three incredible voices from the field of fashion. Stephen Baldry, creator and designer of the Baldry Enterprises and co-founder of Bohemian Wolf. Sunbalanci, the designer, model and creative director. And Simon Brown, London editor of Red, the luxury life magazine. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever
Hello.
you are across the
Hello.
globe.
Hi.
Hello. So today on my show are some incredible voices of fashion. We've got Joelle,
Yes, me.
designer, model, and creative director. And then we've got Stephen Baldry, creator,
Yes.
designer of the Baldry Enterprises and co-founder of Bohemian Wolf.
Hey, Bohemia and the Wolves. Yeah, that's the brand I have in America.
Excellent. And then
Whilst I'm in London, I'm pushing the Baldry brand.
okay.
So my primary focus whilst I'm here is to build, expand, and push the Baldry brand, which is basically that's all me, you know.
Okay.
So I'm here in London to just growing that.
Take it as far as possible. Okay, and I just
Yeah.
want to introduce Simon. And Simon Lead is the London editor of Red, the luxury life magazine, which is Chicago based. But there's so much more to yourselves because as creators, we're not just one solitary thing. We can be anything and many things, which is really fantastic. And so the conversation today is really around London Fashion Week and what are you guys bringing to the table? What can we expect? So we'll start with you, Stephen. You started off talking about your brands. First and foremost, who is Stephen in a nutshell, in a peanut or a crab shell?
Well, I tend to think of myself actually out of the nutshell, but I like to speak from actually the outside of the nut,
Good.
But I'm basically I'm a designer, multimedia creator. Primarily, I'm a fashion designer. I've been designing for probably like most of my life now. A lot of that time I was been in LA, pushing A Bohemia in the Wolves with my partner out there. We had a store. We actually just currently are opening up a showroom in downtown Los Angeles.
Excellent.
Yeah, but I've been in London for the last well, I was in Mexico before I came here. I was doing some manufacturing in Mexico, and then I came to London with the intention of expanding the Baldry brand, But I've been an artist all my life, I have always been drawn towards fashion without a doubt. I mean, I have many different extensions and leaves and branches to
as
my site.
creatives, yep, as creatives we do, yeah.
Yeah. I have many inspirations. Primarily one of my main inspirations is meditation and spirituality, which I incorporate into everything that I create. That's really where my inspiration comes from, is from my inner being and
Absolutely.
the innate power that we have inside of ourselves, and bringing that out and utilizing it and bringing it out into the open and really testing myself, testing my own boundaries. And fashion's really the medium that I find most comfortable to approach that side of me, that which I really just like testing myself and bringing out that artistic drive within.
Excellent,
You know.
excellent. I'm going to come back to you in a moment because I want to
Yeah.
understand about the Baldry band. What does that symbolize? What does it stand for? What is the process of your expression through that? So I'm coming back to you
Okay.
in a moment. And so, Joelle and Simon, right, I'm going to ask you both, who are you? Right, for Joelle, I'm going to say, who are you in a nutshell, in a seashell, or a crab shell?
Oh, who am I? I'd say I am just someone who always try to bring the positivity. Even when I can see that other people are down, I kind of like just try to bring my own authentic self and my own energy to it. And I try not to be affected to it, but also sympathetic. And but originally I'm from Amazon, Brazil, and I'm half Egyptian. And I started modeling for about 5 years ago. That's how I started the whole thing in fashion. And then I jumped to styling, media, content creator, just being all around. And now a designer, because that was my first collection on Monday 11 of
Oh, wow,
August just now,
excellent.
called Region Solaris, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to that soon. But yeah, this is my presentation. What about?
Yeah.
Oh, and Simon, then who is Simon? In come on, I need some more shells, guy. In a seashell, in a walnut shell, in oh, what's another shell? An eggshell.
Yeah, probably a nutshell, as you could say, because a lot of people sound a bit nutty anyway. So, but that's because I'm quite spontaneous, and if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I've been in fashion for a very long time. I've been in publishing since about 1992.
Okay.
Working for some major magazines, but I also fostered, so I'm also the president of the National Union for Professional Foster Carers.
Oh, excellent.
So I've encouraged some young foster carers to actually, and foster carers and foster children to actually model as well. So to actually build their confidence. But I think with this London Fashion Week coming up, it's obviously something we're running alongside London Fashion Week, because there's a lot of people out there who've got incredible talent, like Steve and Joelle, and London Fashion Week is just so ridiculously expensive to be part of. And this is a way and a platform to be able to support people like this, to actually let them be part of the week, but running alongside it with other shows as well. So, and so that's really, I think, behind it, of what even Stanley came up with, who's behind it all, to actually
Marchon,
create a
yes.
platform to actually, for people to connect and share and collaborate.
Give a jump start to them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what Stanley's doing along with Balbir, they are, you know, I believe that it's their sort of heart-centered giving back to those,
Yeah.
giving those an opportunity, giving those a platform just to get their feet on. And then once you've got that support, then you can fly. And that's what
Yeah.
it's all about. You know, I believe I can fly, and just getting that support to fly, and even fly without the wings, because that's what I believe, we can fly without the wings. And so, Stephen, going back to what you said about, you know, you create from the inside, you create from that spiritual bubble that hosts creativity, that hosts the power of everything that's to do with expression. So tell us a little bit about how the Baldry brand sits inside of that place, from which, I know it sounds very philosophical,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which you're creating.
Well, let's say that I don't know whether it's like this for everyone, but for me, creating fashion, especially when there's a deadline and there's you know, an end result, it's, to me, it's traumatic. And along with the meditation, I've found that I always, there's the end result. I always set my intention first, which is this is going to exceed my own expectations. Okay, that's something that I've trained myself, and it's shown, and the results of which have become evident to me. So I set the intention, and then I dive in. So I follow my heart. I say very tapped into my heart, and I follow my heart, which creatively, which puts me in a lot of positions where I'm in the unknown. Because to follow the heart for me kind of puts, you know, you're putting yourself out there. But I
Absolutely.
found that to be in the unknown, and also to create in the unknown, and create, continue to create, even when what I'm coming out with isn't working. Okay, that creates trauma. But I found that that is the perfect place to where I can just let it all go, and then seems like within that trauma, that's when my personal magic happens. It's not like I don't try and bring on the trauma, but it's just naturally, probably because of my own programs, probably. It's just for me, it's traumatic. It's something that I do. It's just, this is what I'm supposed to do, but it's a traumatic experience because I put so much into it. There's so much on the line for me, and there's also nothing on the line, because really, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But it's personally, I just put everything into what I'm designing, and then I find that through the trauma, I can actually, the results come because the trauma just blocks out everything that my ego might have kind of predetermined for me. And then I'm open to like the unknown source providing me with elements that are outside of my own thinking. So it's like the way I design is I don't like trying to think too hard. I just like trying to let source energy work through me. But I find it's most powerful for me when I'm at my wit's end, when I'm like, oh man, this is not working. It's like, and I just lose it, and I get this energy of kind of like, I don't know, like F this, man. And that's when the magic happens. That's when suddenly I'll see something and I'm like, oh, there it is. I mean, it's always not what I initially expected, but it's there and that's it. And that's how I roll, and then I'll go with that, So that's kind of my formula, and that's kind of my approach towards designing. And I've been doing it for a while now. I've been kind of just using the same formula. And that's how and to me that's the spiritual element working through me. But I have to get myself worked up to a place where I've tried every mental and egocentric design element based on my ego, and it's not working. And suddenly, source will give me a download that is perfect, and it's not something that I'm even expecting. It's just comes from another place. And that's how I roll, that's how I've been designing like that for a long time.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I understand that process of creativity because I have the same thing as I had mentioned to Simon. I've got my own magazine, and I know that it's a quarterly magazine, and I know that ideally I need to give myself at least 3 months. And sometimes the inspiration isn't there, and then 6 weeks beforehand it drops, and it puts me under serious pressure. But then but then on the other side of the rainbow, and you see when it's finally published, it's almost like you get this real aha moment. And it's, and sometimes, like you said, a lot of time you think, wow, did I create this? Is this what came through me? Is this the magic that streamed through me? And the more that we operate that way, I find, is the more it's almost like you've got this expandable self happening all the time. And each time you expand into something, oh, I didn't know that was there, but it's part of the process of the creative expansion. And so, wow, I want to ask you the same thing as well. What is your process, and where do you draw your inspiration from?
Oh, is it for me?
For you or Simon?
Oh,
One you go.
well, my inspiration for to keep going for that expansion and everything, I feel like is just preparing myself physically, mentally, and spiritually, because that way I just feel more comfortable. When I jumped from model to stylist and designer, it was like I was kind of skyrocketing some level, and I was just, at least for me or in my mind, it was like everything moving so fast. And I got to a point where I had to detach myself but also focus on what I could control, which would be like going to the gym or just doing things mentally, learn something new, or focusing on what I want to do. Which also involves self-discovery before, because I feel like humans, we're here for self-discovery, and once we discover what we want, we just keep going, and once we go there, we just bring it to the collective of everyone else. So just bringing, because again, the chair or the table we're using was made up from someone else, and they bring something to the collective. So I just want, like, I want to go to this journey and like try to enjoy the most and meet new people, make new connections. That's even the name of my brand, Sunbalanci. Is just to bring that balance of self. Because that's if you lose yourself, you lose it all, at least in my perspective. So of course I'll probably lose myself many times, but like as long as you keep in mind,
You can come back to.
Mm.
You can
Yeah,
come,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've got
Like
the
where to go back
awareness,
to.
because
Mm.
you've got the
Yeah.
awareness of what you're losing, and then your higher self can see that drift, and whatever needs to be learnt in this space, then you
Mm.
bring it back to the center.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, towards balance and where you know and where you build like this whole person or um just to be aware of it as well is
Mhm.
also really important because if you're balanced for too long, you kind of gonna get comfortable, and so it's just always like that self-awareness and that flow. It's not even a battle, it's like just a flow of emotions that meet in between each other.
Mhm.
um yeah, that's why I like the term balance, and that's why I use on my brand as well.
Mhm.
Brilliant,
Mm.
brilliant. And
Anything?
what about you, Simon? What is your role in all of this?
Well, um, I'll just say a quick thing anyway. So, my complete outlook on things changed back in 2023 when I worked in publishing, and I've been in it a very long time. You literally just got on with the work you did to deadlines and things, and then something major happened in 2023, which changed my outlook on life, my thinking on life, and changed it to the point of actually I enjoyed work, so I'm going to carry on doing it and live it to the fullest as well every day. But I decided also that I'd got an awful lot of contacts and a lot of connections that actually I could use to support others and to connect to the right places. And that for me means more to me than anything, because years ago I used to charge for this sort of connection for people connected. Now, no, I do it because actually I want to see people succeed. And that puts the biggest smile on my face whatsoever to see. And I think for me, I also, because I, as Joelle and Stephen know, is I have a son which actually I fostered and then adopted when he was 7, and he's now 21. And again, just seeing, because of the connections I had around me, being able to get him back into his own business and getting him going puts a big smile on my face. And I find that with that's what my passion is. I just like to see people succeed and do well and achieve their dreams.
That's so cool, because I believe in 2025 also there's something around the energy for 2025 where a lot of people are coming into this space of it's a win-win for everyone. You know, we've been and seen so much BS, as I say, that's just my perspective.
Yeah.
Been so much BS, and it's almost like, why can't we support each other? Why do we always have to be competing? Why do we have to be looking over our shoulder and undercutting? And yet there's something that's happened in 2025 where the energy is bringing us together as a collective, but also individually as we continue to clear ourselves out, because we have to have integrity and authenticity to ourselves, and then we can fully do that for others around us. And so there is this, especially with a lot of these groups that we are part of as well, where they're hosting these incredible events that's given people a platform, then it makes things easier for all of us, and we can grow and we can win together, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, I feel I need to do a part 2 because I didn't realize we were going to get so deep with this, but it's also beautiful because as we all share, we're also, this is going to inspire others. It's going to give us the courage to say, you know, I can too. Yes, I can. But also what I want to ask yourselves is, what is your message? I mean, you've spoken about your brand and what it means. Fundamentally, what is your message to the masses through your creative process?
Let me go first, and then I'll let the 2 designers go. And this is just, again, because of what happened to me in 2023, which changed my life drastically, is that my message is, if you've got a dream, it doesn't, yes, it costs money, but it doesn't have to cost a lot. And there is people out there that can support you, connect you, and you can achieve and do absolutely anything you put your mind to. I mean, I never thought I'd model. It wasn't my passion, but for some reason I keep ending up modeling for some reason as well. So, but
Go, Simon. Go,
yeah,
Simon.
I know. So I would just say, you know, if you've got a dream to do something, then connect with people and just go for it. And actually, there's loads of people out there which will support you, and you can achieve anything you put your mind to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Joel?
Yeah, for me, the message would be just even though things might not look right at the moment, I feel like you should at least just prepare yourself, like physically, mentally, or just learn as many things as you can. Just uh prepare yourself. If you don't know what to do right now, just prepare, like just go find out. Like yeah, that would be my message. Just prepare yourself, because you feel more confident when you prepare yourself for something. And sometimes other people's comments can kind of let you down in some way, and that's why what my brand I want people to feel more confident. That's what I want to wear them. I want to wear them as a Met Gala, as a star, as whatever they want to feel like. Um, yeah, just confidence is the key. Just ignore everything else, drown the noise, and focus on what you can control right now, and everything's gonna be okay.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And last but not least, Stephen.
Yeah. Well, my message is basically what the Baldry stands for is individualism. In a time when individuality and self-power is being suppressed or taken away, or what I represent and what my brand represents is the undeniable, ridiculously, insanely powerful, savage, like power source of God that rages within everyone. My main objective is to get everyone. I want people to tap into their own self-power and use that self-power to manifest their dreams, to use magic, to just be an individual, to not be afraid to be your mystical self, like I'm basically raging against the machine. I mean, to me, I'm a spiritual warrior, and my whole thing is we're in spiritual warfare right now. I mean, I'll just like nip it in the bud. That's what I'm all about. I'm about spiritual warfare. I came here to basically spread a message, and my message is tap into the source that we all have inside of us. It doesn't have to be religious or anything like that, but just use the power. And my medium is fashion right now. It's something that I've always done. So I'm using fashion to express to other people that we have the power within us, and use it and become an individual, and break free from the matrix, man. Break free from the matrix, and create a utopia, create your business, create what we use what we innately have within inside of us, and be confident, use time effectively. I mean, we're spiritual, I'm a biological computer, so it's like I know that we all have so much inside of us that we're not actually utilizing, and that the system, or whatever you want to say, there's like this exterior forces are trying to actually prevent people or distract people from actually tapping into. I'm inspired by the ancients. I'm inspired by the pyramids. I mean, I'm inspired by ancient technology, and that's what I use to infuse into my clothing. You know what I mean? It's all, I mean, if I wasn't doing fashion, I'd be doing sculptures, I'd be making gardens, I'd be doing off-grid. I mean, there's a lot of other things I do, but I'm using fashion right now because that's where I'm at. I love fashion. I love making clothes, and I want people to just just man, just break free from the matrix, man. My message is tap into your own personal power and use that. And that's the most important. That's what I'm all about. That's what the Baldry represents. Have fun, you know, just have fun and use your own personal power and see what happens. You know what I mean? Don't think about it. Just
See what
dive
happens. I
in
love
deep.
that.
Dive in
Mm.
deep. Test.
Test the
You
waters.
know what I mean? I could go
Yeah.
on and on and on, you know.
That's good because I'm sensing, I mean, what I'd love to do is next week do a part 2 because we talk about tapping into your magic and your spiritual power. And I'd love to have the conversation about how, because a lot of people can't or they don't for whatever
You
reason.
got to put yourself on the line.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm saying. That's the only way. The best way to do it is you got to put yourself in the unknown. If you don't
that's
put yourself in the unknown, you're not going to really experience it because you're still going to be safe.
But that's scary for a lot of people. So if you're
But
available,
that's the whole thing. See, that's what I'm saying. What is fear? Fears are nothing but more than chemicals in the brain that fear covers over the jewel.
Mm.
The jewel's like the jewel is underneath the blanket of fear. That's what I've experienced, you know. And I've tested it over and over again. I spent years sitting in fear, sitting in my own fears. I've done 2 years in Mexico where every morning I was literally so filled up with fear and personal like grief and programs that I literally all I could do was sit and meditate. Get up in the morning and just go. I'm living in paradise. I've got the beaches like right down the street, blazing heat. But all I could do was sit and meditate because I was so filled up with fear. It was all coming to the surface, and I just spent a long time sitting in it and actually just embracing it. And I learned how to breathe in it, how to breathe in the fear. And whilst I'm breathing in the fear, you can transmute that energy. You can transmute it into the opposite, and there's always a jewel there. And that's the same thing with fashion, man. Just saying, I get the same thing with fashion. I have a philosophy behind what I do. I'm sure Joe does too. You know, I mean,
we're going to wind this down after this because tell us your philosophy, and then next week I want to do part 2 of the philosophy, the steps, because for a lot of people it isn't that easy for them to step out of fear. So it would be nice for all of you if you can come back to talk about your own process of stepping out of that fear.
Yeah,
I get you. I mean, like I said, I've been told many times that I have tread where angels fear to tread, and I've been in some places where I've just had to let go, and as I say, let God or let the universe. And also there's places where I've gone and they said you should have either been dead or you would have been sold as a sex slave across the border. And I remember saying to the High Commissioner, and I said, but I knew I was what did I used to say? I knew I was protected, and he looked at me like I was mad. But I knew protected. So we'll have that conversation another time. So shoot philosophy, we'll wind this down and then we'll do 2. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I just want to say 2 last things. He mentioned about fear, and that's my only tattoo. It's written fearless, which is kind of interesting. And also, second question, are you really on a sofa right now?
Who me?
Yes.
Visualize it. Everything's to do with everything's to do with the imagination. I'm on this little swingy chair, but it's all to do with the imagination.
Exactly.
So, Stephen, just share your philosophy and we'll wind this down. And then next week, I'd love to have you guys back on, and then we'll do part 2 and we'll talk about how to jump out of that fear. Yeah. So what's your philosophy, Stephen?
Well, I mean, you know, to break it down in short concept, it's really you've got meditate on the heart chakra. You've got to get tapped in with your heart, and then you've also got to be tapped into the root chakras. Okay, because that's like the power. That's the power. The heart's going to give you the passion, and then listen to what your heart's telling you to do, and follow that. And that'll put you into an unknown place. If you really follow in your heart, you're going to be put into an unknown. So creatively, if you wanna, you got to listen to the downloads, and you've got to follow the heart, and then the heart will put me in an unknown place. So when I'm in an unknown place, a place where I'm a little bit uncomfortable, it's like I'm challenged, but I want the results. It's like, oh, I want this, you know. I mean, I want to do this fashion show. I want people to see my work. I want to expand in my work. You know, it's an uncomfortable place, and then deal with the uncomfortable energy. You know, face it, and when things aren't working out how the mind wants it to, know that that's all part of the process. Don't step away or become negative. In actual fact, embrace it even more. meditate on it and put the heart into it. And then the heart, what happens is the heart then makes it lighthearted. Like, it's actually kind of funny that, you know, I'm spent weeks doing this and I haven't really got the results that I want. I've been very stressed out, but then I meditate and it actually makes me feel good. I'm like, oh, it doesn't even matter, you know? And
Yeah.
then that sets like a foundation of well-being for the inputs to come in, you know, like the for the download to come in, where it's actually like, oh, that's it right there, you know. It's like,
that's it right there, exactly. That's it right there. So that's it right there. We're going to be back with part 2. That's
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Sound like
Yeah.
comedian. What's his name? Tommy Cooper. That's it right there.
yeah.
So
How's about that then?
I'd like to say thank you to all of you for being. I've just really enjoyed this. Been really inspired. It's inspired me to step more into my magic, and
Yes.
so details are going to be. I'm going to put details at the end of this interview where the fashion show is going to be, how people can book, and part 2. We have to have a part 2 of how to step into your magic, and
Yeah,
Alright.
maybe it would be good to have part 2 whilst we're in the process of like putting together the looks for this up and coming event, because I you know, I'm going to be in that mode again, so
Okay.
it would be a good time to you know.
That's fine. Yeah, we can do it as soon as possible because it'll be as a pre-recorded and uploaded anyway, so we can still capture this magic. But I just want to say thank you. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Thank you as
What are the
well.
dates
Thank you for
again?
doing this.
18th,
Thank you.
19th, 20th.
Yeah.
What dates are you showcasing?
18th and 19th.
19th. Okay. Well,
And
details are
18th,
going to be found at the end of this video. Thank you so much for your time, and let's keep rocking. Yeah.
Yes, let's keep
Thank
working.
you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I am on
Thank
the
you.
sofa. Look.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I will send you the posters because obviously the venues are still to be announced, but I'm just in the middle of changing them with a QR code on them, so people can then scan that to actually book tickets.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you, and have a
Thank you.
wonderful
Yeah.
week, and we'll speak soon.
All right,
Yes,
thank
soon.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications on future videos. Thank you for watching.